Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we make a mashup from local news, state news, federal news. We add to that a combination of tips, good ideas, news, stories, everything that we can get our hands on so we can have an awesome life here. Why are my levels low? Let me see. I see that my levels are lower than usual. Hold on. We can address this before you tell me that my levels are low. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Ha! Okay, I think my levels are back to where they're supposed to be. Good morning, everyone. This is our daily get-together, our morning get-together, not daily. We don't get together on Sundays. This is Wednesday, July 14th. I believe that's an important date in France. But I'm just not entirely sure about that. But that doesn't matter because we're here not to talk about France. We're here to talk about wonderful things that have to do with being a local in Mexico and specifically here in Puerto Vallarta. We have all kinds of news. Flan is my favorite dessert. Okay, we'll get to your comments in a second. As always, if you are new to the broadcast, please let us know by writing the word new. And we'll be glad to give you a proper welcome in the second half of the broadcast, where we will also take a look at all your comments and suggestions. Today, we have important news about COVID. We have important news about restrictions. We have an update on some of the news that we offered yesterday regarding car inspections. And we have show and tell. I have a couple of chingaderas that I think you may want to know about. But first, let us dive into the news and take it from there. We'll take a look at our weather forecast as always, and then we'll get into lighter stuff. Let's go to it. Okay, let's see. Oh no, those are not the news for today. Oh my goodness. Hold on just a second. Let me get myself the news for today. Although I can actually tell you most of these news without looking at my notes. In fact, let me wing it. This first message, first of all, we have a number of news that have to do with the fact that the local government is making motions to inform our tourists that they should look at our current restrictions and abide by them. Although this first note concerns me because the author says in his second paragraph, and I quote, it's this paragraph here, practically all tourists that are visiting downtown and its main attractions, such as the Malecón and the Church of Guadalupe, and the traditional romantic zone in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. So practically all these tourists are following the sanitary measures expected by the Secretary of Health and the municipal government. Um, really? I personally would not feel comfortable making such a statement because I don't think I have the resources to say practically everyone is following the guidelines. I don't think this writer is either is qualified either, but who am I to comment about that? Um, Here's another one. We've been talking about these. This one has to do again with protecting ourselves, wearing the face masks. Masks. We've talked about the fact that all of these um, banners are now posted in important touristic areas of the city, um, and they're in English and they're in Spanish, and this is all good. And I have to say, it's a good thing that the city is doing something. But bottom line, if the messages are not getting to the right people, then there's only so much success these campaigns are going to have. But it's better than nothing. But let's see what else we have. Oh, we also learned that our interim mayor was in a meeting in Guadalajara in a press conference where he announced that Puerto Vallarta is reinforcing all the operatives, the inspection operatives during the weekends regarding sanitary protocols. This was a statement that the interim mayor made during a press conference in which they were announcing all the restrictions and all the maneuvers that the governments are doing in different municipalities, the most important municipalities of the state, to try to contain this. Whether it's happening or it's not happening, it depends on who you read and what you read. This other one says that 2 nightclubs were actually closed down over the weekend for welcoming more people than they were allowed, and that other 3 nightclubs received a little slip, a little warning. Of course, if the local authorities follow the guidelines or the expectations of our governor, Enrique Alfaro, who very clearly stated that he would shut down businesses for good, then we will find out what these 2 discos were, because of course the newspapers don't ever tell you the names of the places that they shut down. But you know, we'll hear when something is closed. Is closed definitely, right? It won't happen. This other one says that 35 businesses were shut down this weekend for not following the protocols and not following uh, capacity of the venues. Although this one was written by the same guy that told us earlier that practically all tourists are following the guidelines. So, you know, take it for what it is. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see what else we have. Of course, Nayarit is dancing to a different tune. Of course, while we are not doing any restrictions here in the state of Jalisco, the state of Nayarit has gone ahead to introduce new restrictions in light of the increase in cases of COVID-19. In the state of Nayarit, and in the entire state, that is, all bars have to close at 9 o'clock at night, and restaurants have to close at 10 o'clock at night. So this is what's going on in our neighbor state, just north of Jalisco. And I should actually commend, and we should all commend the health authorities in Nayarit for actually admitting in public that part of the problem with the increase in COVID cases in the state had to do with political campaigns. And this is something that our own state has not acknowledged. When they were questioned, local authorities answered, of course, the pandemic has nothing to do with our political campaigning and our massive rallies and all those people getting together all cozy next to one another. Of course, it had nothing to do with that. So bravo, Nayarit, for actually having the balls to admit that political gatherings are not immune to the COVID virus. Yesterday, we announced news about vehicle verification, which is becoming mandatory in the state of Jalisco. But as it was suggested during the broadcast yesterday, indeed, these measures will not take place in Puerto Vallarta just yet. So don't run out to get your car verified if you're in Puerto Vallarta. And if you're driving into Puerto Vallarta, don't lose your marbles because you think you're going to need a pass to be able to drive through our cities. You will not need a pass or a sticker, a special visitor sticker to be able to drive into Puerto Vallarta, at least not in the foreseeable future. The resources necessary to implement these new measures are only presently available in the city of Guadalajara. The last bit of news that I have has to do with health authorities that have been quite certain that the return to school in the state of Jalisco is imminent and that it's going to happen in the month of August, which is just 2 weeks away. And now, unfortunately, given the increase in COVID cases, there is no longer any certainty that this will be the case. When health authorities for the state and authorities from the University of Guadalajara were approached, they had no definite comments to this effect just yet. So, needless to say, the next few weeks are going to be crucial in terms of all these wonderful things that we have been expecting as more of us get vaccinated and as more things begin to open up here in the state of Jalisco. We'll just have to wait and see. But while we wait and see, let's take a look at the weather and see what we can expect for the rest of this week. Weather button, go. Okay, where is my weather? There is my weather. Um, the weather says, I promise to always tell you when it's 69 degrees out, when the temperature is right at 69 degrees. No comment. Let me see. It's 27 degrees right now, feels like 32. Humidity is high at a 93%. And our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 81. Our weather forecast for today is going to be possible light rain in the evening and overnight with a high 32 and a low of 25. Tomorrow we can expect rain until morning. Let us hope that that is the case. And a high temperature of 32, a low temperature of 24. And that will be tomorrow, Thursday, which means that Friday it will rain until morning with a high temperature of 32 and a low temperature of 22. Yay. So hopefully we'll get enough rain for things to really cool down a little bit and not just a drizzle, which is what usually happens. And then we end up just having a bunch of humidity and not much else to show for it. I have two more headlines, and I have show and tell, as I promised. Let me start with this one. It is too early for us to worry about this, but apparently Foreign Affairs Chancellor Marcelo Ebrard has already announced that he plans to run for president in 3 years. Our current president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, has said many times, I've given all I've got. I'm ready to retire, so you don't have to worry about me. Marcelo Ebrard is the first person to announce any kind of interest in the presidency, although another name that is circulating around is that of Mexico City Mayor Claudia Sheinbaum. But again, we won't know just yet what is going to happen with that. And the last headline that I have to show you means or has nothing to do with Puerto Vallarta, but the Emmy nominations are back. The Emmy nominations were announced, and I like these nominations because they tend to give me a good sense as to what kind of series I can and should be watching on Netflix or HBO or whatever. And I know that there is a number of you that enjoys television watching quite a bit. So I'm going to leave you with a list of all the nominees. There's some beautiful expected news here, and then some wonderful first-time nominations that I'm very, very excited about. So I'm going to leave that with you for you to enjoy at your leisure with all the show notes. Before we walk, and yes, today is Walking Wednesday, we're going to walk today. I have two items of show and tell. The first one, yesterday, I had to go to Costco to purchase some wine, and a truly indispensable item in Casa de Paco. And I found this very geeky purchase. Ta-da! Whoops, let me see, how do I show this to you? without glaring. I think that's the way. These are smart switches which you can buy and you can plug them to your wall and they get along with your favorite Amazon friend. They get along with your favorite Apple device. So if you want to walk into your home and say, hey, favorite Apple device, or hey, favorite Amazon friend, turn the lights on, you can do that with these chingaderas. Now, it's fancy, I know, but I have to tell you, those lights behind me, the pedestal lights and the light switch above me, I need to bend down to turn those on every time we start the show. And at this stage of the game, at 59 years of age, I must say, if I'm going to bend down for anything, it better be something truly, truly memorable. So, if you want to be a geek like myself, just run over to Costco, buy these things. And the other thing I wanted to show you, and this has to do with the season, I take these for granted, but you may not even know they exist. Do you know what this is? It looks like a fork giving you the finger, but it isn't. This, we call this an ensartamango or a mango fork. You can buy these at supermarkets, and the way they work is you insert, ooh, ooh, you insert your mango, and because it has three prongs, one in the middle and two on the sides, you can insert your mango. Oh, I'm gonna pinch myself. Insert your mango and then turn it upside down, and with a knife, you peel off the the skin, and then you end up sucking on it like it was a popsicle. So this is a no-brainer, but you may not even know these exist. And let's admit the fact that there is absolutely no civilized way to eat a mango without getting all, unless somebody chops it for you in tiny little pieces. So this is a nice gadget to have, very much a local or local to Mexico. I don't know if you can find them in other countries, but in Mexico, these are ubiquitous. There it is, my ensarta mango. It comes with fancy, cheap engraving, and you can find these at the supermarket. I wonder how many of you did not even know that these things existed. And now, ah, the walk. Okay, so as I remind you, we are walking Malecón at your request. This is not a pretty walk. It is dark. Doesn't even have its illumination. I didn't even flip out my camera to do stills because, you know, I had originally intended to do this. And, but then I decided to do the walk. I had seen so many people walking around with the faces. And I figured, oh, but this is the Malecón extension. I just happened to be there. And the first thing that you notice is all these places that are showing Britannia. And we call Britannia, and we put it on the screen. We call Britannia all these very typical Mexican things we like to eat. And Britannia is a slang word. It comes from frito, freír, which means fried. And it implies that just about everything that you can buy at the Malecón is going to be fried. So it's probably not going to be great for your 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 health. You can't hear me, you say? Maybe I should turn this down a little bit. Okay, maybe you can hear me now. Huh. Okay, I've just raised my volume. That's okay. No need to shout, Julie Levine. I can read you all nice and clear. No need to shout. Um, I hope the volume is better now, and I've turned down the volume of the Malecón, uh, and hopefully that'll take care of it. Anyhow, um, um, audio is getting better. Okay, thank you. This is good. Anyhow, if this is a little bit dark, if this is a little bit crooked, in fact, let me turn down the sound of the Malecón even more so that you can hear me. Sound is garbled. Oh my goodness. I hate garbled sound. Sounds like a goldfish in a bowl. Okay, well, I'll get to analyze what's going on, um, and I'll take a look at it after the broadcast is over. Now I'm walking directly behind the Los Arcos Amphitheater, and there's no light there. There's no light there. So if it looks really, really dark, it's because the city doesn't have anything. Okay, I'm muting this. There you go. No more sound from the Malecón, so hopefully the sound is no longer garbled. If the sound continues to be garbled, let me know. Um, as I was saying just now, this is the darker side of the Malecón. You cannot see people clearly, but I can tell you because I was there that you had a nice combination of well, not a nice combination, but a combination of people that were wearing masks and many people that were not wearing masks. So this is what we had. I love your comments. That fixed it. Okay, that's perfect. Better, much better. All good now. And then Ricky chimes in, New Jersey in the house. I love it. Um, People trying to take photos in front of the letters, and you can see some people are wearing the masks, some people are not. In fact, I should have actually, what I did for this walk is I raised the pole that holds my camera. So as you can probably notice, the camera is capturing things from above my head. Um, so whereas I usually keep the camera at face distance because that keeps the camera close to me when I'm using the microphone, and keeping the camera at um, at face height rather would allow you to see. There are those banners. There are those banners that the city is putting everywhere. Keeping the camera at face level would have hopefully shown you more of the people that are wearing the face mask and the people that are not. Um, Looks like the Knights of the Peregrinaciones without all the people, says Dave. For me, at least, here comes the little vehicle that you power with your own feet. In this, the government is good. They won't let you get on the vehicle that is human powered unless you are wearing a face mask. And I made a point to look at how that's being handled. More signs on posts. Those are everywhere. But again, if people are not going to read the signs and are not going to follow the guidelines, I don't know what to tell you. Anyhow, Dave says that it looks like the Knights of Peregrinaciones without all the people. Um, in all honesty, when I got to where the nightclubs are, you would not have wanted to see any more people. See, this part of the Malecón, there's a lot of room to walk around, and this did not make me feel uneasy in any way, shape, or form. All you have to do is walk around the people if you feel like there are too many people. This is pretty, and I would recommend anyone going out and enjoying a nighttime walk along the Malecón, at least on this stretch. Alan asks, what time is this walk? I must have gotten up from my table at Vitea around 10:45 p.m. That's when I decided to go ahead and walk, and I remember that because this walk is approximately 15 minutes long, and then by the time I got home, it was like 11:15. So you can see me now approaching where the nightclubs are, and you can see that there's more lighting in the city, and there are more people out and about. Restaurants full of life, tables full. Again, I was not carrying my inspections measuring tape. I don't know if restaurants were full to capacity or over capacity or under capacity. Um, but it is what it is. Then there's a bunch of closed businesses, and this has always been one of the sore topics with the Malecón because these venues are owned by people that are not necessarily invested in the beautification of the city, and they are more invested in charging rents that are an arm and a leg. They shut down, they are not reopened, and they just look not so good if you are a visitor. When you're walking down the street, and in one of Puerto Vallarta's most popular walkthroughs or walkways, and the businesses are closed. So here we are. We're getting close to the big nightclubs. There are more people hanging out, as you can see. And I've lowered the volume, but there is just crazy loud music coming out of all these venues. There were a lot of people in them, and I got quite close to the entrance of the blue venue. You'll see that none of that. Where was? Oh, the next door, the next venue. This is where all of the people were. There were two girls that were go-go dancing. They were wearing probably about a 1 inch wide strip around their breasts, and teeny undies. And it's funny because once I got close with my camera, the go-go girl on the left proceeded to turn around and not face me, so that I couldn't see who she was. She was not wearing a face mask. And inside of the venue, you can see a ton of people. Um, would I want to be in there enjoying myself? No, 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 no. Definitely not for me. Is this one of the businesses that got a pink slip? I couldn't tell you. We don't know. But it was business as usual at this particular venue on Friday night. It was very crowded, and there were a lot of crowds around, just hanging out without face mask. This particular portion of the Malecón, I would have felt a lot more comfortable walking on the edge where the sculptures are, but I figured if I'm going to get wet, and I do wet, in quotations, if I'm going to get wet with this crowd of people, I might as well do it once and just get it out of the system and show it to you so that I know that I've done it and I don't have to do this again, at least not in the near future. Um, I'm just not interested in being on the Malecón when it's that crowded. And now we have another section of the Malecón that is fairly relaxed. Nothing would have made me feel uncomfortable walking this stretch. Um, Alan says, looks like a good place to hang out with my new zoom lens. In hindsight, Alan, and I'm answering like a photographer. Um, I would have been better off just taking still photographs with a better camera and a better lens than using my 360-degree camera to capture this. But again, this is what I had, and this is what it was. There are more restaurants in this stretch. I forget exactly the names of these particular venues, but I think I'm getting close to where La Bodeguita del Medio is. No, not quite yet. I think there's another block to go. That's the burger place on the second store. On the second story, I forget the name of the burger place, but I remember that place had a webcam. And before I moved to Puerto Vallarta, that's me. That's me walking with my camera. Yes, hello. I remember that burger restaurant had a webcam that I used to look at when I still lived in Boston, and I used to look at that webcam and look at the ocean and look at people walking in a city that I had never visited, and I used to say to myself, I'm going to be on that webcam one day. And lo and behold, on my very first day in Puerto Vallarta, I walked to that webcam and I stood in front of it. And I said to myself, maybe, just maybe, somebody who is dreaming about moving to Puerto Vallarta is looking at me right now. And, and here I am. And there I was. Now we approach the place where La Bodeguita del Medio is. There are always crowds there, and there was lively music. Wait, is that not La Bodeguita? No, I'm not yet at La Bodeguita, or maybe I passed it. I don't even know. Anyhow, we are slowly but surely getting close to Hotel Rosita, and that is where this walk is going to end. I totally agree with you, Christy. I mean, it's a divided feeling. It's so nice to see people enjoying the destination, but at the same time, it's bittersweet. And Christy, thank you very much for that. And Julie, nails it. This is so upsetting for those of us that have made sacrifices for over a year now and continue to keep ourselves safe and others safe. There's La Bodeguita del Medio. Um, if anything, it's nice to see that they take good care of lighting their venue and keeping it welcoming. But again, would I want to be having dinner at La Bodeguita del Medio on a Friday night? I don't think so. Yes, it was something like Hamburgers in Paradise, and I'm glad to see that I'm not the only one that looks at the webcams and longs to be here. That was so very important to me for months, Mario, because for months I was sitting at my desk at the university that I used to work in, and I kept thinking to myself, just counting days to get down here, and thinking to myself, "Oh my God, I'm moving to this city, and I'm going to be able to walk that," and it used to mean a lot to me. Uh, One of my favorite things on the Malecón is watching Tony the glassblower do his magic. I don't know this particular glassblower, Albert, but I love watching glassblowers do their thing. Whenever I go to Guadalajara and I go to Tonalá, I always make myself. I always make sure that I go visit the glass blowing factory and take a look at how they work. And here we are at the end of the Malecón. At this point in time, I just crossed the street. I must say this, I was relieved to be out of the Malecón and to continue with my evening and to get home. And I believe this is where we ended. Yes, this is pretty much where we ended this walking tour. And and again, I was happy to do it because I had been wanting to, number one, try my 360-degree camera at night and realized that it's not designed for that. So it's very unlikely that I'll go out with that camera to a walking tour again. I'll use other cameras. Number two, I wanted to do this because I wanted to see firsthand what the city seems to be doing or how people are reacting to to the current guidelines. And I'm not going to shade the city here. The city is doing what the city can do. It also boils down to how much we feel as individuals our social responsibility is to other people around us. And it's clear to me that some people have different guidelines of where that level of social engagement or social awareness is. Anyhow, let me know. That was our walk for today. I doubt that I'll publish it. I doubt that we'll want to see this again. It's just, ugh. But let me very quickly take a look at all your comments and see what we missed and see what you guys are up to. Let us take a quick look. And there's our friend Craig. It's great to see you. Um, an appetite in case they have an extra flan on the Malecon. I love flan, and I noticed that somebody in the middle of the broadcast said, "I love flan." Flan is a wonderful thing. It was Stephanie who said flan is my favorite dessert. Uh, oh, child. Well, I think we're going to have to fight over this one, Craig, because, well, maybe he can be my future husband after he is your future husband. I always enjoy a nice conversation with Roman at that at Siam, and then at the other Siam, there's my other future husband Aldo. And while you were having dinner at Siam yesterday, I actually stopped by the other location of Siam to bring home a bit of swimming rama to enjoy at home. So I had nice takeout, and I had a chance to say hello to my future husband Aldo when I was doing that. You have excellent taste in future husbands, Craig, I must say. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Lots of hellos as always. Um, this is Taco. This is not Taco Tuesday. Tomorrow will be Taco Tuesday. Tomorrow will be Taco Thursday, and you're going to love the story behind tomorrow's taqueria because it has gourmet implications, but the good kind. Um, but we'll save that for tomorrow. Let's see. Oh, Mark Jennings has a birthday today. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mark. It is important in France and it is important here. Happy birthday. Thank you. I knew there was something important going on. Bastille Day. Let's see what else we have. I can ignore that. Da, 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 da. Neither tourists or locals are doing a great job following guidelines. Dave, I would have to agree with you given what I've seen. I don't know exact percentages, of course, but it is sad to see so many people and hear from business owner friends of mine that they have to do like unpleasant deeds at their businesses, saying to people, "You have no mask, you cannot enter here." Oh, but I've been. No, you cannot enter. I mean, it's so unfortunate that one should have to scold or tourists like that. Da 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 da. I would tend to agree with you only to a certain extent, Santiago. On the one hand, you are right, it is a vaccine problem, but the vaccine is not a solution, I think. I think a large percentage of the problem we're enduring is being to face mask. I mean, if people wore face masks, if people followed basic guidelines that we have to continue following even after we get vaccinated, then we would not have a problem. So yes, you are right in saying that the vaccine problem, the vaccine is part of the problem or lack of vaccines, but protocol needs to be enforced as well, at least here in Puerto Vallarta. Thank you very much for that, Karen. That's what I thought. There is no way to know that most tourists are vaccinated. Let's see what else we have. Check out the Pat's Plates Facebook page. They explain the new vehicle rules very well. Thank you very much, Julie. Next time, if you don't mind, it would be so helpful for the community if you actually share the URL with us if you know it. If not, then hopefully some people will be curious enough to go and check out that page. Thank you for the suggestion. Let's see what else we have. Let's see what else we have. Oh, thank you for the thank yous, Pat. Thank you very much. It is always appreciated. Um, I hope those plugs work better than Siri. This is my new purchase, who knew that I really deserve to buy this. This is hashtag you don't need this, but you gotta buy it. And fortunately, they were not that expensive. They were like 450 pesos for the set, which I thought was really affordable. Um, Michal says she needs the mango fork. I'm going to shop for mango forks for you, Michal, so that you don't have to buy them and you can have them waiting for you when you come back from Canada. Terry didn't know that mango forks existed. There you go. You can find them in most Mexican supermarkets. Um, let's see. Yeah, but Lee, do I really want to be? Exercise just doesn't come to me as I don't know. I'm still gonna plug my lights. I may bend over several times a day just to improve flexibility, but um, no, that's not true. Mango Fork is not saying fork you. Mango Fork is saying, hey, go find a piece of fruit and put me to good use. It's a wholesome mango fork. Let's see what else. Then all the muffled messages. Uh, but I'm glad that we resolved that. Um, da 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 da. More sounds. Well, at least I know that you guys are paying attention, and this is absolutely wonderful. Uh, and I'm glad that we were able to resolve that. Let's see. We talked about most of these things. These are all the comments that you shared during the walk, and we have already gone through those, so we don't need to revisit them again. Um, I am extremely impressed with the high percentage of mask compliance here in Guadalajara. Seeing this is truly disturbing. I hear you, Raymond, and I am slightly comforted by what you're saying because now, in the last few days, for weeks I have been saying, I get vaccinated and I go to Guadalajara. I mean, I get vaccinated and I go to Guadalajara. But in the last week, I've been thinking to myself, no, no, no. I get vaccinated and I don't go anywhere and I continue with business as usual here. Um, Thank you very much for that, Dave. I love going out walking, and but I will have no qualms in acknowledging that I did not enjoy walking the Malecón. Um, I hear you. I hear you very much, Anna. It is what it is. So all we can do about that is, not go there. Not go there. Best burgers are in your Colonia Paco Colonia Burgers. I'm gonna look those up, Doug. Thank you very much for the pointer. If it is nearby me, then they should probably be in our map, and I will definitely be looking for those. Thank you very much. Um, I don't think I have suffered any ill effects. I can still smell my farts, and for better or worse, that is my tacky but very sure way to make sure that I don't have many, many symptoms. I'm feeling fine. Um, Thank you for saying thank you, Lynn. It means more to me than you imagine. Let's see what else. Oh, thank you very much for that, Julie. Again, for those people that want to know accurate information about license plates and all that stuff and permits, this is a good source. And I think uh, I don't know if this is about me, Damien, but if you're talking about something that I should be reading, please let me know by adding a big Q to the beginning of your comment. Um, let's see what else. Okay, we are at the end of our comments today. So I think it is a good time to end our broadcast. I hope you've enjoyed Wednesday's walking tour. It was not something that I'm very crazy about, but again, we shared it only because enough of you said that you wanted to see it. That's what it is. And hopefully we'll be walking. Actually, I know where I want to go walking for next week, and it's going to be a beautiful place. Or I'm hoping that it's going to be a beautiful place. Tomorrow is Thursday. Tomorrow we have the Taco Tuesday we didn't have yesterday because we favored the Chopin competition. I don't know if any of you tuned in to watch. I do know that I'm way too old to be stalking young pianists on Facebook, but it was a lot of fun to watch part of the competition yesterday and understand how these kids, their hands tremble when they're playing. I mean, the nervousness they must be feeling. Anyhow, we are done for today. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for finding enough value in Coffee and Headlines to be a supporting member, whether you are just the occasional buy me a coffee person or you are subscribing. Thank you for remembering that when you become a member, your membership renews automatically at the end of the year. This is just like any other subscription. Thank you for remembering that. And if you are not remembering that, kindly either drop me a note to find out when you expire or check your own financial records so that you're not caught with a surprise bill in your credit card. That's it for me. I hope you have a great day, and I hope that I'll see you tomorrow for Taco Tuesday on a Thursday. Stay kind.